Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to talk all about pepper spray. When to use it, when not to use it, all that stuff. If that interests you, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, one of the things I get asked about a lot as a self-defense instructor is if pepper spray is a good self-defense weapon. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what pepper spray is. So essentially, it's just a capsaicin oil that's put into a can and pressurized. Capsaicin is like the active, spicy, hot ingredient in peppers. What it's designed to do is after it's sprayed into the eyes and face and nose of an assailant is cause like tremendous burning and a lot of tearing from the eyes, mucus pouring out of the nose. You know, the eyes are going to close. There's going to be a ton of irritation and inflammation around your eyes, nose, and mouth. It can be very disorienting, cause headaches. Some people vomit, choking, coughing. It's not pretty. It's super gross, and it's really aggressive. It seems kind of innocuous, just a little can of hot sauce, essentially, but it's not. It's a very aggressive self-defense tool. It is not a toy. So what happens when you're sprayed? I've had 3 interactions with pepper spray in my life. The first was in junior high. One of my friends had it. She kept it in her purse. What up, Jackie? And one day we're all standing in a circle outside during lunch, and she was talking about it. So we're like, let us see. She takes it out. We're looking at it. She sprays it near us. Within 15 seconds, everybody's coughing, falling out, rubbing their eyes, just scattering. Again, nobody got hit directly. And it was that effective to scatter, 8 or 9, 12-year-olds. How old are you in junior high? That's probably right. The second time was in high school. I don't know why I was always in school. Well, yeah, I do. It was the 90s. So, pepper spray was like the new hot thing for personal self-defense. And all my schools were in bad areas, so there was just a lot less structure, and we weren't being watched that much. So the second situation was in high school. We were during like a school assembly, so we're all gathered in this auditorium. Somebody sprayed pepper spray in the air. I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 rows ahead of us, where my friends and I were. And same thing, most of the auditorium's coughing, wheezing, people are rubbing their eyes. And they had to evacuate the auditorium. Same thing, nobody got sprayed directly, but it was powerful enough that everybody had to get out, and they canceled the rest of the whatever was going on. And obviously, I don't know, maybe somebody got in trouble, who knows. The last time I had any dealing with pepper spray is I had bought a couple cans, and I took one out to like an empty field, no houses around, like just completely empty area, and I sprayed it. And I was working on certain things, just familiarizing myself on a deeper level with pepper spray. I don't like pepper spray. I hate it. It sucks. So to the answer of, is it an effective self-defense tool? Yeah, but there are some caveats to that. So let's talk about what happens if you get sprayed or if you spray somebody. So there's basically 3 reactions when somebody gets sprayed with pepper spray. One is the desired reaction, which is the person falls down and they're incapacitated. They're screaming, coughing, rubbing their eyes. That's what you want, right? The second is that they have kind of like a mild reaction. Yes, their eyes are burning, but they're still going to kind of come at you. Maybe not as forceful as they were, but it did not shut them down. And the third reaction, which you don't want, is that it sends them into a blind rage. Literally a blind rage, where they come at you harder and more aggressive and faster than they would have even before. What determines one or the other? It's a lot of factors. It could be outside influence, like drugs or alcohol. It could be maybe they're familiar with it and it's not a surprise, so they can mentally and physically process what's happening and work through it. And probably what's most likely is just genetic. People react to different things differently. Everybody's pain threshold is different. Some people don't cry when they cut onions. So it's something to think about. It's not a 100% guarantee that it's going to work. And that's true for anything in self-defense. It's probably the most important rule in self-defense, is that nothing is 100%. You can't rely on just one method of attack or escape or countering. You need to be prepared for more than one thing. So if you are sprayed, the first thing to keep in mind is don't touch your face. People do it all the time. Something gets in their eye, they start rubbing. Don't rub your face. Don't pat it with anything, nothing. It's an oil. It's only going to spread. You're going to get it in your nose, your mouth, your ears. It's going to get all over you and your skin. Don't rub it. Also, don't use water. Like I said, it's an oil. Water is only going to, same thing, spread it around, make it worse. What you want is saline solution or milk of magnesia. This is going to help break it down at a chemical level so that you can then rinse your eyes and rinse your face with water, and that should help get it away. And you want to rinse 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's quite a while. You want to keep rinsing until that pain subsides a little bit. And even then, it's not like it's just magically gone, especially depending on the strength of the pepper spray. But the biggest thing is just going to be waiting it out. If after, a great amount of time, it's still not getting better, you're probably going to have to go see a doctor. It is a serious weapon. Okay, so when and where do you use this? This is the biggest thing that I deal with as far as pepper spray is concerned. Actually, all self-defense weapons, personal self-defense weapons, is people don't understand what it is, what it's for, and what are its strengths and weaknesses. So you don't want to use this inside your house or inside a car or in a narrow corridor. This is not a close range weapon. So if someone is right on top of you and you pull out your pepper spray, you're pepper spraying both of you. So really keep that in mind. You need some distance with this, and you need to know which direction the wind is blowing. You got to think about it. If the wind is blowing at you, you whip out your pepper spray and you spray, and it's going and it's all coming back at your face, you're in way worse position than you were had you not taken it out. So you need to be aware of that. The other thing is you can't take it out as the attack is happening. You're just not going to be able to do it. You're going to be fumbling for it. So it needs to be already in your hand, ready to go. So you want to be 10 feet away. I mean, every can will kind of tell you its range. Let's see this one. Maximum effective range, 10 to 12 feet. Right. Let's say, realistically no more than 10 feet. That is not very far away. I know it sounds far. You can cover that in a second. It's not hard. That's like 2 or 3 big steps. So that kind of brings us into, well, how do you carry it? If it's, at the bottom of your purse or the bottom of your backpack or deep in your pocket with a bunch of stuff piled on top of it, the chance of you getting it out and using it effectively is pretty low. So it needs to be in a place that's easily accessible and quick to draw from. So if you keep it in your purse and you keep your purse on your shoulder, or you have a bag and you keep your bag on your shoulder, you need to know exactly where it is. So that means that you have to put it in the exact same place every single time. You can't ever put it in a different place. It has to be in the same place. It also has to be able to be drawn quickly. It can't be like tied to your bag where it gets stuck and you have to undo something, a little clasp. Nope, that's not gonna work. So you have to be able to get to it unobstructed and quickly pull it out and get your finger on the trigger ready to go. There's a few different options for triggers. This one has like a turn and push. Some have like one that you flip up and push. There's different ways that they make the cans. So you need to be familiar with your pepper spray and how it functions. So you need to practice drawing it, opening it, pointing it. Quick side note, when you use it, you want to try to avoid using it with your index finger. This is very weak and it's easy to fall out, and you're likely to have worse aim this way. What you want to do is use your thumb. I have a solid grip on the can. I can turn it, and then I'm going to use my thumb, hold it nice and tight, and it's easy for me to point. When you spray it, you don't want to like target something directly. Again, this is it comes out in a stream, but it's not like a laser or anything. There's a spread to it. And what you want to do is cover the area of the person coming toward you in this spray so that they can't get away from it. They can't just dodge their head and come under and grab you. So as you're moving back slightly or moving forward, depending on the situation, or moving laterally, this needs to be going in kind of like a zigzag or S pattern away from you. And there's two schools of thought about like which hand you should have it in, whether it should be in your lead hand or in your rear hand. They're both right, but for the most part, I tell people, especially if they're not trained, I tell them to keep it in their back hand so that their front hand can deflect or push away as you still spray or punch or, block or whatever you need to do. So you need to practice drawing it, pointing it, getting it ready. You need to practice that standing still. You need to practice that walking. You need to practice that walking backward. You need to practice that running. You need to practice that on the ground. You have to practice these things. You're not going to magically do them. This is true for any self-defense technique. You have to practice, and you have to practice under pressure. They make practice pepper spray cans that have like water or air or whatever. You can get practice ones. I would recommend too, if it is something you carry, if you're gonna buy one, buy two. Take the other one out to an empty space, like nothing around you, not a parking lot next to a house, but like empty field, there's nothing nearby. And practice there. Practice spraying it there. Learn about the wind direction. Learn about how you work with all this stuff. This is at your own risk, of course. So if you see someone coming, or you see someone behind you, or you feel that, you need to get it out in your hand and ready to go. You can't wait for an attack to start and then go for it. Now you're diverting your attention away from the imminent threat, and you're trying to do fine motor skills under pressure. It's usually a recipe for disaster. You don't want to do that. So it needs to be in your hand, ready to go, holding it up with the intention to use it, right? It might be enough to scare somebody off, but like how I feel about weapons is if you take it out, you're going to use it. So, it may work as a deterrent, but in your mind, you have to be prepared to use the thing, right? If you hesitate, it's not going to work. And then when it's not in use, you need to store it in a cool, dry place. Don't keep it in your glove box in your hot car when it's 110 degrees outside and thing's going to explode. It needs to, just like anything else that's pressurized, it can't be under that type of temperature. If you have it in your house or in your car or in your purse, keep it away from your kids. If you keep it in your bag, your backpack, your purse, your whatever, your jacket, and you have kids, at a certain point, you might need to explain what it is, how dangerous it is, and that they shouldn't touch it. I know for me, I have a fairly open Discord with my son about dangers of weapons, things in the house. I don't keep them around for him to get to, but like, he knows not to play with knives. He knows what they are. There's no punishment if he does. I let him cut things and practice. It's not a taboo subject, but he's aware of what they are. So he knows it's not a toy. He knows not to just go fumbling around with stuff. He's a part of my life. He lives in this house. We live together. So he needs to be understanding of what these things are, so that it's not a problem. Ignorance often leads to disaster. So I don't make him ignorant to things that are right in front of him. And you also need to check the expiration date. These things don't last forever. Let's see if we can find it here. Expiration date, June 25th, right? So I've got a few years. There's no guarantee on that, but like if you've had it since the 90s, Jackie, if you're watching, you got to throw that one out and pick up a new one. I wonder what you're up to, Jackie. Comment below what you guys think Jackie is up to. And that about sums it up. Self-defense tools are a great thing to learn about, but learn about them. Don't leave it up to chance. Don't randomly pick up weapons and think you kind of know how they work. Talk to professionals, talk to experts, and proceed with caution. I appreciate you guys. If that was helpful for you, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. Share it with somebody you know who might benefit from this. If you have friends or family who carry pepper spray or want to carry pepper spray, send them this video. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the new videos I'm putting out. And what else? Hit me up on all the social media. You can find me from my website, grahambaker.com. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Be well, do good, make healthy choices. Peace.